Now, he's one of Australia's top comedians, musicians and songwriters, and now Tim Minchin is helping Aussie students get their start in music.
That's right.
Tim Minchin is the man behind some of our most beloved musicals. Known for his hilarious tunes,
Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
biting social commentary,
Take your canvas bags when you go to the supermarket, market.
and his scene-stealing presence on the big screen.
It's been a bit since your last confession.
My conscience is clear. Is yours?
Try as I might, mine's always a bit of a muddle.
Take your canvas bags.
Super talented. Tim is teaming up with Yamaha Music Australia for the Great Start grant, helping young Aussie musicians. And we're very pleased to say he joins us in the studio this morning with the details.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Tim.
Hey.
Great to see you
It's
here.
nice to be back on today.
Yes, and back in Australia. And this sounds like such a rewarding thing that you're doing. Tell us a little bit about the Great Start grant.
Well, the Great Start grant is a I don't know, say grant. It's a West Australian
Yeah,
thing.
I'm South Australian. That sounds perfectly fine to
I
me.
know, Great Start grant. The Great Start grant.
Now you make it sound passive. Oh,
Yeah.
Great Start, great.
No, I'll do the whole thing like this. I live back in Australia now. The Great Start grant is a Yamaha initiative that allows a school in Australia to apply to, in competition with other schools, to try and get their music program off the ground or boosted if they've got a sort of embryonic one. And if Yamaha likes their application, they'll give them almost $60,000 worth of instruments to begin a school band program.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Because I imagine it's one of those areas in school that suffers a little bit depending on the school and the funding
And if it's public
that's allocated.
I was a little bit naive, I think, about... I said to the Yamaha guys, are there public schools in Australia with no music programs? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, surely that's the first thing you... Because all the studies show that music improves outcomes in all areas. What music does, both sort of emotionally for kids and neurologically for kids, is I think fundamental. And I know it's naive and maybe narcissistic of me to think, oh, it's all about music, but I don't think there should be any school in Australia without a music program, and Yamaha's doing their little bit to try and increase the culture of music in Australia.
Because you came through WAPA, right? When you went to
yeah, so I went and did a little
So the
course.
West Australian
yeah.
But
Performing
before
Arts
that, when you
Academy,
were in school,
Yeah.
in WA, were you in school bands? Did you do music? Did you?
Well, I'm a failed. I'm a.
Please tell me what you failed at, because that would make me feel a lot better.
I am a result of a failed. I got kicked out of the school choir. I quit piano at sort of 14 because I wasn't practicing. And I went to a sort of boys' school where there was no problem with resources. But perhaps there was, this is the 80s and 90s. Perhaps there was a, if you're not sort of reading the, then they didn't sort of go, oh, that guy's got an interesting way.
His style is different.
And was it more sport focused too? And
Yeah,
were you sporty as well?
I was pretty sporty, yeah. I was more into sport than music back then. But no, look, my school had an amazing music department, an amazing drama department, and the privilege of that is extraordinary. And the privilege is not so much whether or not you got a scholarship or played in the school band. The privilege is just, there's a couple of things you need to have music as part of your life. One is one or two teachers who just show you that it's fun. And I had, Miss Pedrotti in primary school who taught the Year 5 choir Simon and Garfunkel songs,
that's cool.
all those beautiful harmonies and Bridge Over Troubled Water. I was a boy soprano, so at that age, that kind of got me focused.
By the way.
Yes.
That was before you got kicked out of the choir?
Yes, that was before, yeah. I got kicked out of the choir in high school. That was not so... And then later on, in sort of year 10, 11, there was like a school rock band on a Friday afternoon. So you just need a couple of moments. And the other thing you need is to be surrounded by music, to have instruments in the house, ideally. There was this old piano in my house that was one of those player pianos, right? So all these rolls, and we'd stand around and sing them. And my brother played guitar, and my sister played clarinet. So I was surrounded by instruments. So if I wanted to avoid my homework, I'd just go sit down. And that's what a lot of people in Australia don't have. They don't have
access.
Just the instruments lying about. And that's what you want schools, all schools, to be able to have, is if kids are interested, and if the school has a culture of music, there's no one saying, oh, well, I can't afford a clarinet.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of instruments lying around Australia for you to play because you're going to go on tour.
Yeah.
So what can we expect? It's been a long time since you've toured.
It's been a long
You've done a
time.
couple of symphony shows here and there.
Yeah.
But like you touring. So what are we going to see?
Old
there
songs,
you go.
new songs.
And new songs.
Yes, old songs, new songs, and grown-up songs. Look, my last tour was the orchestra tour, and that was 2011-12.
Right.
And I sort of went away and concentrated on musicals and on my acting stuff, and I kept going. I should be touring, and it just suddenly, years rolled by, and I finally have got it together to tour again. And I'm basically, you're going to walk in, and there's going to be a piano there and a curtain behind it, and I'm going to start playing some old songs and some new songs, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to talk about yet.
That's okay.
I don't know. I think I might just see what comes into my head every night. Yeah.
I cannot wait to see
me
this.
either.
So great to have you back in the country.
great
This sounds
to
like a
be. It
fantastic
is.
program.
It
So the
does.
Yamaha's Great Start grant. Head to greatstart.yamahabackstage.com.au. It's a long one. It's right there. We'll put it up on our website too. But thank you for joining us, mate. Great to have you here.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah,
Thank you,
apply
Tim.
for a Great Start grant. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's a school that
good,
look,
good.
think
Come
about
back
it.
and see us soon.
I will. I'll be
Yeah.
back.